As the lights fade for one beloved character's story, we find out from Morgan that not only do our demons come back to haunt us, but possibly they infest others. Find out what that means. Plus, we are finding out what the daydreams finally mean for Rick and the rest of the group. Stay tuned here on Nephilim Entertainment. Hey, what is up, everybody? What is up? I'm your host, Metatron Uriel, and this is Nephilim Entertainment. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the huge delay. Been busy with work outside of Nephilim Entertainment, but I'm here to drop to you my take on episode number 9, Honor, for The Walking Dead. Alright. So we get a few flashes of peace. We actually get to see more of this possible partially foreshadowing maybe a fantasy that Rick's been having here lately to find out, maybe possibly this could be a good future. It would be a little bit more easy to take if it wasn't for the fact of them burying a mysterious body. Who could it be? We all know. Many people are in denial about it. Many people are even assuming that it's all just a big misleading story, but the facts of it is that our beloved Carl Grimes has been bitten by a walker. As we've seen at the mid-season finale break, he was in fact bitten on his side by a walker. And for those who don't know exactly when it happened and what went on to lead up to this moment, the people were so kind enough to actually illustrate this. We actually get a series of flashbacks leading up to the bite and actually seeing what Carl does to sort of tie loose ends after the bite. He is not stupid. He knows the fate that is befalling him. So what does he do? He ties up loose ends, leaving nice little mementos and notes for people. But I think the thing that probably gets me the most, especially since I'm a brother, is the fact that what does he want to do on his last day? Spend time with his little sister. Give her a happy memory. Finger paint, leave their handprints on the footsteps, take photos with an old Polaroid picture. I mean, he is being like the best big brother. He is actually leaving her good, fond memories to where she can look back on and possibly smile. And that, in this world, is a treasure within itself. So, Carl, even in your moments of death, you're thinking about others. Damn, why they had to kill you off, man. He's one of those characters you're kind of like, I like the guy, but he could go either way, or I like his character, but why is he acting like this? I mean, what is going on with Carl Grimes? And then finally, at the last moment, you find out his true colors. It's like Itachi Uchiha said in Naruto, you find out a man's true colors when he's dying. And that holds true in this. So, we actually have a little bit of Morgan's view upon what happened with the Saviors. We found out that they actually killed the walkers to clear a path, which meant their escape. Which I'm guessing was all sort of a plan came up by none other than Eugene himself, so kudos to him. And we actually get to see Carol sort of being a mother figure to our boy Henry. Henry was the little brother of Benjamin who got killed in last season, and he is still wanting to go out and prove himself to the others. Carla is actually against this, and even though she, seasons ago, were training little kids on how to use knives, she's still not ready for them to go out to war. So Carol is not above reproach and actually keeping kids where they need to be in the background. But Rick's reaction to the bite and how Carl's acting about it, because you gotta admit, him acting sort of nonchalant about it, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, he's not being the weepy-eyed little kid. He's actually handling it like an adult. He's handling it better than most adults have. Most of them have treated it like it was the end of the world, as opposed to just saying, nah, this happens. I mean, you would have thought that he basically, didn't get the job interview or didn't get accepted into college. He was just kind of like, nah, I guess I'll find something else to do. So, yeah, dying. What of it? Wow. I mean, I have to say that would definitely. I don't know how I'd react. I don't know if I'd act like a spoiled child, throwing a tantrum, weeping and cursing the world and the heavens above, or if I would just go on a mad, loose cannon kind of phase and try to basically end the zombie apocalypse by trying to destroy everything and everyone in my way. I don't know. Carl Grimes, on the other hand, he took the time to rescue people, spend time with his little sister, and make amends with his dad and Michonne. I have to give him props. Once again, dude, nice. So we also find out that Michonne doesn't want to see Carl in this way. She wants to be doing something, and she wants to make some action. She's tired of sitting on the sidelines. She wants to actually go out and do something. Well, Dwight actually steps in. Dwight is all about staying. Daryl is questioning this, but Dwight basically says, look, we stay, we survive. At some point, they will give up and they will leave, talking about the saviors. Good point. Well, in the end, what will happen after that? And I love Daryl Dixon's quote. He says, we'll become their worst damn nightmare. Oh, Daryl Dixon, yet again, being the badass that he is. And one thing I had to shout out when it comes to Daryl Dixon is the fact that right when Carl and him parted ways for the last time, he points out, brother, all these people that are safe right now, you did that. Daryl, so few words, so few words, big actions. I applaud you too, sir. So, meanwhile, Morgan and Carol are leading a one-man or two-man army to basically take out the saviors that are in the kingdom and save Ezekiel. Can they do it? No, we'll have to see, because right now they're kind of going Black Ops about it. But they're sort of switching back and forth between stories. We're seeing a lot of Black Ops stuff. Carol and Morgan sort of sneaking around, killing off actual people to save King Ezekiel. Meanwhile, Carl is having a very long, very emotional goodbye. At this point, if there's a dry eye in the entire viewing, I don't know how. Even I was going to look weepy at this point. Especially with his final words to his little sister Judith. She's young, she probably won't remember. So, the one thing that kind of sticks out to me, that you see a lot of possible memes popping up, is his mother told him he was going to survive this world. We thought he was going to too, but he didn't. And he acknowledged that to his little sister. He said, I didn't. But you will. I hope this is not a foreshadowing that, hey, she's possibly next, because it seems like whenever somebody talks about you will survive this world, they always end up in the moment of danger. So I hope nothing happens to Judith. I really think now, since Carl's now gone, she's really going to have to pick up sort of the family heirloom or heritage and go forth with the grand name. So hopefully Judith will survive this. Meanwhile, congratulations to Sadiq. He has officially been welcomed into the group. Rick was kind of reluctant about it, especially since it was kind of like that awkward moment where he was like, Carl, is that the guy from the gas station? How's it going? My son's dying. Yeah. Coral! Who is he? Yeah, sorry. Bad imitation, but yeah, Sadiq has actually been welcomed into the group, and I have to point out something. The one thing that Carl actually shares with him that he has not shared with anyone else but one person was I guess their rendition of a Kit Kat, which was a big cat. He shared it with one other person, and that was Michonne. Now, funny story about that is back when this was going on, they were on their way to Terminus, blah, blah, blah. It was right after the fall of the prison. Rick, Carl, and Michonne actually were going off on a little adventure amongst themselves, trying to basically find Terminus. In the midst of this, they find a big cat. Well, or they either find a big cat, or one of them already had it. Anyway, the point being is Carl and Michonne actually shared it. Now, at this exact moment, I sensed a lot of sort of intimacy and familiarity between the family. And I know from having a single parent growing up that if you treat the child really good, make them laugh, make them smile, make them happy, the parent is more likely going to be more attached to you and more likely have sort of a respect and fondness towards you. That being with Michonne, I had sort of already at the point guessed that Michonne and Rick would end up a couple because of this exact moment. That's my little fun fact for y'all. So, with a big Kit Kat being shared by one other person, I'm sensing that there's probably going to be sort of like a blood brother kind of thing going. Now that he's passing, I guess, passing the torch on to Sadiq. So, hopefully we see a lot with C's story. Hopefully they don't kill him off real soon, and we can actually see something become of his story. Because after everything we've been through, it'd be nice to have a character that we can really get attached to for a little while without having to worry about them dying. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, and unless something drastic happens, I can see Sadiq lasting quite a while on the show. But we never know with the writers of The Walking Dead. And one other thing too is we find out that Ezekiel, he tells this to Gavin. Gavin is the sort of like the outpost leader for the Saviors around the kingdom, and he basically tells Gavin this. He said, "Look, I thought I was here to save the people. Kind of find out I was here to save you." About that time, he gets on the radio, can't get in contact with any of his lieutenants. He starts freaking out. They back away to basically Ezekiel's throne room, where they end up making their last stand. And this is the point where Carol and Morgan stop being sneaky and start unloading on these people. And when I mean unloading, I mean they're shooting up old-fashioned standoff kind of style, taking out one guy at a time. But it gets to the point where Gavin is the last one, along with a handful of people. They're slowly dropping one by one. One actually tries to wrestle with Morgan for the gun. Now, this right here is a measure of Morgan's character, because at this point, this is where Morgan actually goes a little bit more into the darker side, because he's been struggling with his humanity ever since Benjamin died. Now we're actually starting to see how far he'll go, because he actually literally, this is how far he went, literally stuck his hand into a man's gut and ripped his guts out with his bare hands. I freaked out at this point. Me personally, I've seen a lot of disemboweling in the show. Most of the times with walkers or some freak accident, you rarely see a man actually rip the guts out of another man, another living man's body. So with that happening, we're sensing a lot of bestiality and sort of a feralness towards Morgan. And I think that is a big step for his character, because we're seeing him lose more and more of his way towards, you know, the whole Zen thing, to now where he's like the other part of the extreme. He went from the calm, cool Zen master monk to now he's back to his barbaric ways, and possibly the way he was back when we met him seasons ago, when he pretty much turned the entire city into a death trap for anybody brave enough to enter. So with that being said, Morgan actually is a step beyond what we could see. But the final thing that Carl parts onto his dad is the fact that he's seen the change in Rick. So this takes us back to the whole prison scheme. What happened at the prison? Carl killed a young boy there at the prison. It freaked out Rick. So naturally, Rick decided to put his gun down in order to bring Carl back to the side of the light. And of course, all this is happening meanwhile while they're having the whole shootout at the kingdom. And it actually lines up great with the whole scenario of what I'm about to tell you. So as Rick puts his gun down, tries to get Carl back onto the humane side, he ends up sort of changing Carl for the good, making Carl the man he is now. Well, Carl fears that Rick has gone back to that side. gone back to the side where he shoots first, asks questions later kind of side where he takes no prisoners. Carl doesn't want that for his dad. He wants him to actually have a sense of mercy and to show some humanity. So Carl feels that his sacrifice will maybe sort of lead Rick back to the side of humanity, sort of back to a civilization that he can be proud of, to where they can look upon this and see, hey, we brought the world back from this entire disaster. And that's been mildly. So Rick, in a way, promises, or Carl has Rick promise him that you'll build this world for me, you will build this world, and you will be the man that I know you can be. And we find out the secret behind the daydream. This whole little foreshadowing of the whole future Rick, long beard, Judith's a little grown now. She's running around the whole camp meeting different people in this daydream. Kind of find out it wasn't Rick's daydream, it was Carl's. We find out now that the whole thing led up to it being Carl's. It is Carl's daydream, Carl's fantasy about what Alexandria could be and what his dad could end up leading the city to. So that is a very interesting footnote. But meanwhile, while all this is going on, we actually meet up with the last bit of Morgan's story at the Kingdom, as he's got Galvin cornered, and by cornered, I mean he actually chased him around, and you got sort of a Freddy Krueger / Jason / Michael Myers feel to this. I mean, Morgan's actually walking around the Kingdom dragging his stick like a basic old 80s, 90s classic horror movie. I thought that was a nice little callback to the classics. Well, when he has him cornered, we have King Ezekiel. I show respect for my brother. And Carol actually trying to talk Morgan out of killing Galvin. We think that maybe possibly, okay, these people will actually break him from the brink of actually killing a man in cold blood. Well, no, not exactly. He does end up dying, but not at the hands of Morgan. It's none other than Henry himself, the little boy, actually kills Gavin himself with his own stick. Apparently, he wants to be like Morgan. Great. So now we have another little psycho on our hands. And this show's chock full of them, apparently. Henry actually kills Galvin, and that ends it all for Galvin. The thing that sort of freaks out and brings Morgan back to reality is to see this little boy actually commit murder for the first time. And the weirdest thing about it is that he seems to be kind of okay with the whole killing thing. So we have to worry about Henry now? Great. And last but not least, we actually see Carl grown up, because at the end of the episode, he doesn't make anybody take him out. He does it himself. I have to applaud him. I don't even know if I got the gumption to put a gun to my head and in it for myself. In the end, Carl, you are more man than I. Alright, up next for The Walking Dead. At the end of the episode, we had a little bit of a montage. It was Negan season. So, hey, everybody's Negan season. We're going to go on a hunt for Negan. And it's hinting towards Rick actually, he's going to kill Negan. Don't worry, son. I'll keep my word after I kill Negan. Okay, sir. Whatever you say. So, we're going to be dealing with a lot of hate for Negan in the next few episodes. With Carl dying, everyone's going to sort of basically put it all off on Negan. It's Negan's fault that he died, even though Carl openly admitted this happened outside of the war. So, and the Saviors actually get their nice little present from the hilltop, and it's none other than their boy, from which he comes back thanks to Maggie. So it's interesting to kind of see how this is all going to unfold. So yep, that's going to do a wrap for me. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Be sure to give me a big thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to my page and stay tuned to the end of the video for more content. By the way, this week's question is, are you saddened by Carl's death? Does it leave a big impact? Are you kind of meh about it? Or could you care less? Or are you glad it's gone? Let me know up at the subreddit at the top. But It's going to be right from me. My name is Michonne. And to all you daydreamers and creators out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.